Live from New York City, it's Shannon in the Morning with Patty Steele, Last Time Around.
Oh, it's a good day, singing a song, and it's a good day. We're moving along, yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day to shine in your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues. Everything to gain and nothing to lose, 'cause it's a good day from morning till night. You're right.
Transmitting live and direct from the Mothership Studios for the last time. It's the Big Show on the air everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York. It's the Thursday, almost Friday, Big Show on CBS-FM, New York.
Everybody waking up now with the Big Show, feel the heat. From New Jersey to Long Island and not one till in between. Crank up Shannon and the Big Show. Got to listen to the beat. Come on, shake your body, baby, with the Big Show. Is it gonna rain or maybe we have snow? Oh, tell me, but the traffic is fast or slow. Oh, crank it up with Shannon, baby, to the Big Show beat.
Cleared for takeoff. Scott Shannon and the Big Show.
6:08, 8 minutes after 6 a.m. Hello, it's Thursday, December the 15th, 2022. And if you're wondering why we're calling this the last official Big Show, we want to get all the reminiscing and all the tears and all the things we have to do out of the way today.
Yep, I hear you.
Because tomorrow is a day.
We're not allowed to reminisce or tear up.
Right. It's a day of celebration, Patty.
Of course.
And, of course, to record this monumental event today, radio's best friend, Art Volo. You probably heard about this guy. His home base, his warehouse of operations is in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, beautiful Detroit.
And he travels around and he records things that happen in radio. And I've known him for quite some time. He's recorded me at numerous radio stations. I'm like a gypsy.
Yeah, he's been pretty much omnipresent since I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him.
His work is in the Radio Hall of Fame and all the other halls of fame. So yeah. He was even at the latest induction when Mad Dog went in.
And Broadway Bill.
Broadway Bill Lee, right there in front of him.
Yep, exactly.
Cloudy and cold this morning, then breezy with showers this afternoon. Into the evening, snow and sleet, slippery in the suburbs. It's not a pretty forecast. If you're trying to fly, which I'm sure a lot of people are, it's going to be rough. High today, 39. It's 35 right now. Tomorrow, the rough day, cloudy, windy, rainy, could mix with snow for the suburbs. High of 45. Like I said, 35 right now. What's the real feel, Patty?
I don't know. 29 is what they were most recently saying, so, you know.
All-ton at side the street parking in effect today. It's another gridlock alert day in the city. The thing that's kind of confusing about, not confusing, but it makes it difficult for us because this is our last regular radio show. Mm-hmm. And it's my last career show.
Yeah.
From CBS-FM. I leave that door open just in case.
We know. You've been there before,
Everybody
right?
Yeah,
we've heard that.
I talked to a guy yesterday from Newsday, and he said, you don't know this, but I've been following you, and I don't trust you. That's what he said. He doesn't trust me. He says, I have a funny feeling I'm going to be hearing from you again in 2023.
He never goes away.
I said, no.
Remember that.
I said, you're not going to hear from me for a while. I just want to take a little time
We'll make
off.
it not too long.
Yeah, they'll forget you.
Yeah.
So we got that going.
Yeah.
We got to discuss that. And we're looking back at our 8.5 years at CBS-FM this morning.
Now, do you want me to tell you what stories are going on today? I don't know what you want.
No, you just hang out.
You don't want any headlines?
No, go ahead if you want to. I don't care.
Sure.
It's our last show. How bad is that going to be?
And you can tell how well planned it is.
Go ahead.
Interest rates up again, a pain in the butt if you're buying or selling a house, up another 0.5 point. Yesterday, the Fed's just trying to slow inflation, knocked it up. Some local politicians, listen to this, want all buses in New York City to be free. Yay! Plus, they want more subway and bus service. Yay! Except it would cost billions, which they say they could make up with higher taxes. Yay. Really sad news for fans of the Ellen DeGeneres show. Stephen Twitch, boss, the show DJ and executive producer, committed suicide yesterday. He left a wife and 3 kids. He was 40 years old. Sweet guy, too. I always really liked him on that show.
All right, now we're up to date.
He didn't hear a word I said. You know
Love
that.
it.
Instant sports, Knicks won their 5th straight game to beat the Bulls in overtime, 128-120. They sure turned their season around. Tomorrow night, Knicks play the Bulls again in Chicago, back-to-back. Nets head to Toronto to play the Raptors. You got football tonight. Seahawks and 49ers in Seattle. 49ers are on a roll. They got this third-string quarterback who's turned out to be a superstar. Sunday, MetLife Stadium, Jets and Lions. And the Giants play the Commanders in D.C. That's the evening game at 8:20. And in the World Cup, France beat Morocco yesterday, 2-0. And that means they'll be playing Argentina for the World Cup Finals Sunday at 10 a.m. They got to get up early. Coming up today on The Big Show, we got those Janet Jackson tickets at the Garden. 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30. Those tickets go on sale tomorrow morning. Rob Thomas checks in at 8:10 this morning. And we're going right until 10 today.
We are?
Yep.
Well, I didn't know about that either.
It's all right.
You know, this is great, Shannon.
Well, I announced
Just
it.
follow
I announced it twice this week.
You
and
said
were-
yesterday.
No,
You
I
said
said
yesterday that Friday.
2 days. I said we're going 2 days.
Yeah, you didn't tell me. I had a
You
dentist
were standing
appointment.
right
I'm
in-
done.
You
I'm
were
done with you.
standing right in front of me when I said it.
I don't think so.
And we got a mini weekend blast off starting at 8 this morning. And like I said, Rob at 8:10. We'll get rolling in a minute on CBS. CBS FM. Last time around, big show at 6:30. Tomorrow morning we'll be in Valhalla, New York. Broadcasting from Blightdale Children's Hospital, as we always do. That's another thing that's on my mind today.
What?
It's our last party for the kids at Blightdale.
Well, maybe not.
Well.
Maybe they'll invite us back and we can do a show that doesn't go on the radio.
That's going to sound great, Patty. Thank you for that idea.
We can all pretend.
Yeah. We look back and it was March 3rd, 2013, when the big show officially signed on the air.
2014.
2014.
I'm sorry, 2014. I thought it was 2013.
And I joined March 26th. I remember that because it's my son's birthday.
And then Brad slid in between it on the 6th. That was your first.
Day 4. It's like, it's very biblical. Yeah.
Day 4.
March 3rd, 2014, the big show began its run here. What is it? Just over 8.5 years. We're looking at 9.
Yeah, almost. It's 8. Yeah, it'd be 9 in 2 months. So
It was a fascinating week because I turned up on the Thursday and I see, Scott, you're in full flight already by day 4 and you've got Joe Nolan sitting there. It's like, yeah. And then,
you felt like you stepped back in time,
what the heck
right?
is going on?
Wait
here?
a minute. What am I? Am I on 95.5 or 101.1?
It was really good.
That was funny.
It's wonderful.
By the way, this morning over on Channel 5, there's a special event going on.
Oh, yeah. Our friend Robert Moses came in. He did an amazing piece with us talking about kind of a retrospective on Scott's career. And so they ran it early this morning on Channel 5, and they at 4:40. They ran it again at 6:20, but you can catch it again at 8:40.
It's on Good
I
Day,
taped
New
it,
York.
so maybe we can share it somehow.
Now, you're saying it's a phenomenal... Have you seen it?
No,
You're guessing that he does good work.
I think he does good work because he is so smart and he has such an incredibly warm heart. He's just a really terrific young guy, and he was so anxious to capture everything about this show. And so I'm going to believe that.
All right. No, that's what you do.
How would I have seen it? Who am I? I don't get advanced.
No, I just wonder how you knew it was so great. I hope you're right.
The stuff from yesterday was spectacular.
I was all over the place.
That News Nation one, I'm like, who is this News Nation mob?
I don't know.
They did like the most incredible package.
Art, have you heard of News Nation?
I know the guy that runs it.
Who is that?
Sean Compton.
Yeah.
News Chicago.
I remember him from many years ago. He was
And where do you get News Nation?
on the cable.
On cable?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
on
on-
there. It's pretty good. It's pretty
Really
well
good.
done, yeah.
And the young guy interviewing you was lapping you up, Scott. He was good, that young kid.
They didn't know who they were. They had no idea.
No,
who
you
I
ran
was.
rings around him, though.
But they did a good job. And then I went over to our sister station, The Fan, because, and Patty always watching me. You're doing too much sports. And I just like sports.
Well, I don't say that. The bosses said that to you.
And you just remind me.
Because I don't know what you're talking about because I'm not
Yeah.
a sports person.
You can't talk about sports. Nobody else on the show knows about it but you. So,
Well, the irony of that is, Scott, you went over there and actually didn't talk about sports and just put on
Great.
and just put on a full-on comedy show.
He comes here and talks about sports, and then he goes there and talks.
Jeez, it was good
I was
work.
a little confused, Patty.
Okay, Chris Oliveira's listening, going, "Geez, maybe we shouldn't have."
Yeah.
Look at this
Maybe we
retirement
should
a
have
little bit.
asked him not to talk sports earlier.
This guy was
I got
amazing.
confused. I thought he was looking over my shoulder. Don't talk. Wait a minute. I'm on The Fan now. I can talk sports.
Oh, but you didn't talk sports. You just were hilarious. It was
And
pure
I-
comedy.
And I met the two guys who do the warm-up show. You ever heard that one, Brad?
Yeah, El Dukes and Jerry Recco.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
Jerry Recco, that guy's he works so hard.
He sounded nervous to meet you.
Yeah, he travels around. He's hardly ever, and they have this intro, and it goes, now it's a warm-up show with Jerry and Al, and most days they don't suck, and it bothers me when they introduce the show. So he starts talking while the guy's still doesn't suck. I said, you can let the suck word come out there. Anyway, this morning he dedicated it to me, and he didn't talk over the word suck. 6:35, Patty's in here. She has the early morning brain buster. It's all about the big show, and it's good for tickets to see Janet Jackson at the Garden.
Who was the first weatherman / meteorologist on our show here at CBS-FM?
Yep. He's our first guy. Wonderful man.
Yeah.
Him and me just didn't get along.
No. Physically fit. A physically fit man.
Yeah, you think?
We did well. Patty, I tried. You know that. I tried to make it work.
We've got an example of that coming up
Yeah.
later in the show, Patty.
Okay, yeah. Of
Not-
how he really
Oh,
Not
brought
that
him
much.
along.
Not that much later in the show.
Oh, it was a heck of a
So was he
handbrake.
there for about 4 months here with us?
I don't know. It seemed like longer.
Yeah.
It's CBS-FM. You're on CBS-FM. My name is Scott. I've worked here for almost 9 years. I will walk out of here today. My office clean.
A free man.
Ready for the next guy. A fella by the name of John Fox. And we're very familiar with
Yeah,
him.
he was on the country station here, and he was the PD there.
Yep, and he was also the afternoon guy over at, he worked with us over at PLJ.
And the program director there.
Yeah, he took my place there, and he's going to take my place here.
That's weird.
Forgot about that part, didn't you?
You better think about where you're going next.
You have to make sure John Fox is worth
Does it
covering.
swallow you?
He's a good guy.
He's a sweetheart.
And he's going to do a great job. Give him a chance if you would. 6:40. We got Franklin from Queens, and he wants to talk to Patty Steele.
Well, who doesn't? Hi, Franklin.
How you doing, Patty Steele?
See, I told you. Look at it. It's
Wow.
going.
He even remembered
I'm
my
on
last
the radio.
name. Yes, you are on the radio. You got to
I
tell
know
us,
the answer.
who was the first weatherman on our show here at CBS-FM?
Mr. G.
Mr. G.
Woo!
And Mr. G outlasted us. He's still on TV.
There you go.
Well, we're
He's on
on
Channel 11.
11, right.
We have a little laugh over him, but he survives.
Yeah, that's the funny thing
Okay.
about it is he wears those, he's got these sport coats. And I think he used to weigh more. And since he lost the weight, looks like he lost about 25 pounds because he's a runner.
Yeah, he
And
is.
the sport coats go out like they're like
Yeah.
he like the movie Big. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
You're not that big.
not to that extent, frankly.
You're look at you making friends on the way out the door.
So, Brad, I think didn't this involve the World Cup back then?
Yeah, we had a big show party at the Australian pub to watch Australia versus Holland in the World Cup, and
Right.
we all went along and got a booth there, and it was very exciting. And Mr. G even turned up and joined us.
Wait a minute,
Mr. G.
Joe was there.
Joe Nolan.
set the table.
Yep.
Patty, you were there.
Yep,
Yeah,
Patty.
yeah.
Kermit the Wonder Frog was there, Trevor.
Yep.
And myself, and then Mr. G stormed in a little bit later.
Here we go with the whole story.
How long were you there yesterday for the big Australian?
I was there for a good solid 6 hours. Yeah.
The game was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But you had to tune up for it.
Well, I got there early, Scott. You know, they cleared the bar of all the stools, so that we had to get off the stools, but we got a booth out the back, and the first thing they delivered to us was a jug of beer, but it was in a World Cup.
You know, everybody jacks up the prices all around that bar. I wanted to buy some cufflinks. The guy wanted $150 for it. You know,
My cufflinks in a bar?
well, I ripped them apart. I got so excited that
What the hell is he talking about?
Brad, can you explain this?
No, I don't. No, he said no.
And you know what? Let's just leave it right there. What? They don't sell cufflinks in a bar.
No, just beer.
All right.
We have a.
Where'd he go?
What just happened?
I don't know. He does that all the time. Remember that one about his exterminator? I don't understand it. I like that
about
guy.
a soccer game. Next thing I'm talking about is cufflinks.
Every so often, people come up to me and say, "Why are you mean to Mr. G?" I'm not trying to be mean to Mr. G. Mr. G just comes up with stuff out of the clear blue, and we don't know what he's talking about.
I wish we had a web camera in here so you could have seen
too.
Scott's face when he starts talking about cufflinks.
Thanks, Joe.
I had to
Out
try.
of the clear blue.
Scott's face was actually pretty good, because in the old days, Scott's face would have went really bad really
Contorted,
quick.
yes.
But Scott gave you a 7 to 8 second chance there.
I did. I said, well,
and you're
maybe
really nice
No,
about it.
It's got to be going somewhere.
In the old days, he would throw something across the room.
Why would anybody talk about cufflinks unless there's a punchline?
Yeah.
I don't know. There you go.
Wow.
What happened once the microphones went off? I don't remember.
Nothing.
Oh, my
He didn't
goodness.
get pissed off at you. He didn't try to punch you or anything.
No.
Gosh, that was awkward. I just felt awkward again
Because
hearing
he's
it.
like pretty quiet
What
during
was
that.
the other story we almost told in that little piece?
The exterminator. Something about his exterminator.
We were doing a weather right in the middle, and he says, that damn exterminator didn't show up. And I think what's going on is
Was he at home at that point? And his
It
wife
is-
was talking to him.
in his head, he's talking, but other things are going on. He's got voices in his head,
And it
he
comes out his mouth.
Yeah, the wires get
There's
crossed.
another person in this room that occasionally does that.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, but I'm not sitting in a bar and buying cufflinks.
No, that's true. No.
6:45.
But you look at somebody's hair and go, what happened to you?
CBS-FM.
It's the Big Show Party for the Kids at Blythedale Children's Hospital.
Join Scott, Patty, Brad, and the rest of the Big Show crew tomorrow morning with live performances by Billy Joel sax band Mark Rivera, teen sensation Jake Thistle, a cappella group 613 Constantine Maroulis, and of course Holiday Express. Plus a special performance by Jax, singer of the Top 10 smash Victoria's Secret. And as always, Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. Powered by McDonald's. Try the McDonald's Christmas Spectacular Family Meal. And by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Hey, it's the Big Show Party for the Kids at Blythedale Children's Hospital.
Tomorrow morning on CBS-FM.
101.1 CBS-FM.
Scott, it's your old friend John Bon Jovi. Congratulations on nearly 40 years of rocking the radio. You've done a lot for me, for the band, for the Soul Kitchen. Hell, you've been my dad's golf buddy. Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to hearing about your next chapter. And I want to thank you for all the incredible work that you've done at the Blythedale Children's Hospital. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. Happy holidays, everybody.
6:55 here
sweet.
at CBS.
He sounds like a rock star, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Man, he's like got this cool delivery.
He got a heart of gold.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll drive you crazy because he wants everything just perfect.
Sure, well, that's why he is where he is, right?
He wants it. It's a funny thing because Springsteen's the same way. If you ever read Bruce's book,
Yep.
Brad, he says, if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail with my ideas.
Right. That's smart.
Wow, that's a lesson for everybody,
Yeah,
actually.
he used to be he said, I was in a band. It was all of us got a vote. He said, I don't like it that way. I like me to have the vote.
I've heard people say that
Yeah.
in my house.
Now, as I mentioned, we couldn't have had the success that we had here, Patty, without the cast of people that we had.
Oh, we've had some wonderful folks.
Including the big galoot sitting right beside you there, Brad Blanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we had when we got Joe Nolan, even Mr. G was a part of what happened and how it went. And of course, Sue Aller. People love Sue Aller.
We still do love Sue Aller.
There was someone around here that didn't
Precious.
love her. I don't know where. I wasn't in this control room. I
Was
can
not
tell you
in this
that.
control room.
And of course, Trevor, aka Kermit the Wonder Frog. And of course, there's some magic moments. From
And Louie. We
I
don't forget
forgot
him.
Louie. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's home. I think he's got a new job. He's got something going on.
He's got kids to raise, too.
Now, Brad,
Beautiful
you
wife.
remember this one.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking, I think it was Patty and Sue, and we're just chit-chatting. I was talking about Jeopardy contestants, I think,
That you were.
and how a question seemed to stump one of the...
Brad. Yeah, the guy Brad, the third best Jeopardy guy in history.
He was stumped by the whole thing. So let's see what happened. Last night, part one of the GOAT competition, the greatest of all time on Jeopardy. Last night, Ken Jennings had a combined total of 63,400 points over two separate games. Right behind him, my guy from Vegas, James Holzhauer, and I felt bad for that poor Brad Rutter. I'm telling you, he was a mess last night.
Deer without a headlight.
Yeah.
Oh, in the headlight.
Yeah, there you go. Deer without a headlight.
How many deers have headlights?
Is that the deer or you in the headlight?
The deer without a headlight. I love that.
Oh, my God. How about that?
He's so cute.
That was not an unusual event.
No.
No, and it was never planned. She just...
And she's so cute when she
just
does it.
pops it out.
But it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
It's like a deer without a headlight.
It was just natural. It was just natural.
Yeah. I love that girl. And she's been through so much. Her husband has been ill over the past few years.
And she has handled
my
it like she has a PhD. She's
I mean,
amazing how she's worked.
What a memory she's got, except when it comes to deer.
Yeah. And her triplets just graduated.
Yeah.
Those little babies.
She's
Yep.
got,
Isn't it
got a
amazing?
whole flock of kids over there.
kids.
The only thing missing is the big shoe. Got a lot of kids, and I'm telling you, what a wonderful person.
She's going to be there tomorrow.
She'll be there tomorrow.
Sue Ella, what a legend.
I wouldn't be surprised to see her bring a deer with a headlight. 6:59, Patty Steele's on the big show.
Well, it's funny. We've got this storm on the way, but you peek out the window, and what do you have? A nice clear sky, but it's cold out there, 35 degrees. Yes, a bit of a storm headed our way. Not so bad for the city and immediate surroundings. Rain by midday, turning to sleet and snow north and west. It's part of the storm that left mountains of snow out west and brought tornadoes to the south. Trying to buy a house, interest rates up again. Yesterday, the Fed bumped up rates by 0.5 point, all in an effort to crack down on stubborn inflation. Is it saber rattling? Russia issued a new nuclear threat to the West yesterday by readying in public a Yars strategic missile for combat use. Southwest of Moscow, a video shows the huge rocket being loaded into a silo in western Russia. This missile is capable of hitting targets here in the U.S. as well as Britain. And really sad news for fans of the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Stephen Twitch, boss, the show DJ, and executive producer, committed suicide yesterday. Left a wife and 3 children. He was just 40 years old.
Have you seen that picture of his kids?
I know.
So cute.
Oh, they're adorable. They're so beautiful.
And his wife is just, oh my God.
Beside herself, I know. I'm Patty Steele.
WCBS WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1.
Scott Shannon.
Scott Shannon and Patty in the mornings.
New York's greatest hits.
It's great quality music.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world.
New York.
It's the Thursday, almost Friday Big Show on CBS-FM New York.
Shannon and Patty were making us happy since March of 2014. Riding around with the Big Show on for my morning routine. John Elliott and Joe Nolan, Sue Eller and Brad Blanks kept us rolling. Kermit the Wonder Frog is out of his mind. Oh, but now we're here waving Shannon and Patty goodbye. Oh, oh, oh. They were on CBS and it's anyone's guess why the Big Show has come to an end. I know they decide that although they retire, they're remaining the closest of friends. They're the king and the queen of the radio scene, and I hope that we hear them again. Whoa, whoa. That's all I heard about Shannon and Patty. It's the end of the show and we're all pretty saddy, and here we are waving Shannon and Patty goodbye. So sad for me to see him go, 'cause I'm a P1 person for the Big Show. Now for the last time, you know it's true when the DJ says bye, buckaroos.
$7:18 here at CBS-FM.
At CBS-FM, you know what? You know what we have at CBS-FM?
What do you have?
We have a special, I know how much you love surprises.
Yeah.
So we have a very special surprise guest. He did your show at Z100 when you first arrived in New York City. You know who it is? Take a guess. You didn't have that many guests. Nobody wanted to do the show.
Not Joey Reynolds.
It is Joey Reynolds.
Famous world DJ.
He is a New York City icon. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh.
I used to come to work and listen to him. He was over on WOR.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the station you were on?
Yeah, it's one of them.
He's like me. He hops from station to station around town.
He was also on me too.
WABC.
He was on WNBC for a while.
And WNBC.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Joey Reynolds got his start up in Buffalo. Well, he'd been around before that, but he was very famous because they had a 50,000 watt radio station.
Yes.
And now he's got his own business going. What kind of cakes do you specialize in? I know it's a big hit.
You surprised me because I wasn't going to plug my cheesecake, but I just did.
Oh, cheesecake!
I brought Scott the fame. I made a cheesecake for church because the food was so terrible, and I made it, and the women loved it. And the next week I went back, and they said more cheesecake. I forgot how I made it.
Oh no!
So I had to ad-lib.
Yeah.
And Scott and I have been ad-libbing our lives.
Well, so then you hit the big time.
I did. We sold it at Bloomingdale's.
Wow.
And then the factory caught on fire.
Oh, what?
A little Joey Lightning.
Yeah.
No, so I got the thing on the market now. Yeah. But, Scott.
Wait a minute. What if somebody wanted to buy one of your cheesecakes? What would they do?
You just go to joeyreynolds cheesecake.com. But listen to me. I have to get even with you. You and I, you forgot. I know you forgot this. I love Scott, incidentally.
Yes, I see that.
He is the consummate last great program director, for one thing. And then as a disc jockey, I came here today because I heard there was an opening.
Right.
It's already been filled, Joey. You could have had that if you'd been here earlier.
So you might need a sidekick,
about 15 years earlier. But Scott, listen to me. You and I were on with Oprah.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you forget that? And I was introduced as the first shock jock, and she said all these wonderful things about me. And then she asked Scott, "What do you think?" And he says, "Yeah, You know, he put me under the bus.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. We were on Oprah. I said he's funny.
Yeah, no,
He's funny.
Yeah,
he's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I said he's kind of funny. I don't know.
But Scott, can I ask you a question? I mean, I know this is your show. I want to interview you for a minute, Scott.
Go ahead.
Are you a happy guy?
Yeah, I'm a happy guy. My
'Cause
nickname is Mr. Happy Pants.
No, I mean, really, why are you leaving here? This is a good job.
It's a long story, Joey.
I don't think we want to get into it right here.
This
fan and tell it.
This is not exactly the place where
It's
I
not
want
a
it.
funny story.
Joey learned some stuff from Oprah, didn't you, Joey?
Yeah.
Good job. Let's hear it from Joey Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen. JoeyReynoldsCheesecake.com. You will love it. It's the Big Show.
You throwing me out?
It's the Big Show Party for the Kids at Blythedale Children's Hospital.
Join Scott, Patty, Brad, and the rest of the Big Show crew tomorrow morning with live performances by Billy Joel sax band Mark Rivera, teen sensation Jake Thistle, acapella group 613, Constantine Maroulis, and of course, Holiday Express. Plus, a special performance by Jax, singer of the Top 10 smash Victoria's Secret. And as always, Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. Powered by McDonald's. Try the McDonald's Christmas Spectacular Family Meal. And by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Hey, it's the Big Show Party for the Kids at Blythedale Children's Hospital.
Tomorrow morning on CBS-FM.
CBS-FM. It's the best of the Big Show. 8.5 years in the making. But before we continue, what do we got?
Okay, call in 1-800-367-1101. Correctly identify this movie for your chance to win tickets to see Janet Jackson
In concert.
in concert.
Put that cookie down now!
Put the cookie down. There you go. 800-367-1101. 737 here at CBS-FM. Here's our mystery movie.
Put that cookie down now!
And where are we headed?
Back to beautiful Clifton, New Jersey. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
Excellent.
Mark is a P1 listener.
And winner.
For those of you who don't know, a P1 listener is someone who listens a lot.
Yes.
That's what you do. And the
appreciate
more
it.
P1 listeners you have in radio, the better off you are.
Exactly.
And Mark, tell everybody the name of that movie.
I need the Turbo Man. That's Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
I don't know what that first line was.
It was an impression he was doing.
That's good. That's a good job, man.
It's good.
I thought I missed the name of the movie while you're doing the impersonation.
Yeah, no.
All right, bud, you got Janet Jackson tickets, and thanks for being a part of our show for so long.
Thank you so much. Loved your show. Thank you.
7:38. I also want to say a special good morning to a longtime member of the Big Show, Dr. Dave Colin, and his lovely wife, Louise, who we call Wheezy. And he was the guy who did that little song that we had this morning. He does Billy Joel for me.
Right.
Whenever you need a Billy Joel person, that's who we call.
The go-to guy.
He's been with us since Z100.
Yeah. I mean, he was a little baby.
Yeah.
Calling in.
Never forget this. He was going to dental school.
Yeah.
And I was living in the Harmon Cove Towers.
Like the elf on Rudolph that you were so
Yeah.
impressed with Monday.
And everything in my apartment was rented. They were white walls and everything. I call it Herculon headquarters. And back then, when you rented a TV back then, they'd bring you one, and then the plastic in the top, they would take a soldering iron and heat in the actual serial number so you couldn't steal it.
Wow, really?
You know that? Yeah.
Look at you. You were pretty impressive.
Oh, I was something, boy, right there. Harmon Cove Tower. And with us this morning, Patty's wonderful husband, Stephen.
Ah, yes.
Who's also another dedicated radio.
He wants no part of a microphone, though.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
He never should have been on one, to be honest with you. I'm kidding you.
Yeah, well, you hired him, buddy.
I know. For his brains, not his voice. And your lovely daughter that the two of you created.
My little kitty cat.
Katie. who's now burning up a big trail.
Yeah, at Elektra Music
Elektra
Group.
Records.
Yeah.
About every 2 weeks she gets promoted over there.
Yes, she's the new CEO. Did you know?
And a big shout out to Robert Moses, all the folks at Good Day New York, Rosanna Scotto and Dan Bowens and all of them. Their friend Robert, who's been a long time P1 Big Show listener.
Yeah, even though he's a baby.
Yeah, but he's
been listening. Yeah, for
he
years.
remembers Z100, so he must have been going. Must have been on the school bus or something. And they did a nice piece on it. Runs at 8:40 this morning on Fox 5. Don't leave us to watch it. You can record it and everything will be fine.
Right.
What do I put in here? We had something. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. This is. We try to stay out of political issues, although sometimes you gravitate over there towards that area.
You can't help yourself.
But whenever we had this mayor, had to be the worst mayor in the history, not of New York, but just the whole country.
Well,
there might have
you
been.
know what? There's a lot of entrants in that category.
There might have been some worse mayors in Chicago. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know this guy was terrible. And his name was de Blasio.
Oh, him.
He just basically destroyed the city and all the beautiful things that we had going. And so he had just done something really stupid. I forget what it was, and it was a Sunday.
You want me to get the list out for you?
I was out on the golf course, and for some reason, I started making up a song, and it's all about him. And I called as soon as I got through, I called Dave, Dr. Dave, who's our songmeister.
Said, turn this idea into something
And
we can
he
hear.
turned it into a great song. And it sounded like this.
He killed this city. He killed this city. De Blasio killed this city. He killed this city. De Blasio. Some were good and bad, but Bill de Blasio's the worst we ever had. Knee deep in his bush, never making sense. Maybe Bill de Blasio is incompetent. Rudy Giuliani says the mayor's got to go. We will remember he killed this city. He killed this city. De Blasio laid off city workers, won't support police. Criminals are taking over all the streets. Need to find a toilet, there are none in sight. Don't worry, just use the Upper West Side. Rudy Giuliani says the mayor's got to go. We will remember he killed this city. He killed this city. De Blasio. School is really screwed up. They don't know what to do. 'Cause Bill de Blasio doesn't have a clue. His wife is on the payroll, 14 others too. Still trying to figure out what it is they do. Rudy Giuliani says the mayor's got to go. We will remember he killed this city. He killed this city. De Blasio.
There you go. I forgot I did 3 versions of that.
Oh, wait, is that the club version?
Yeah, well, that's
Extended?
the long version. Didn't need to be that long. Dr. Dave got carried away, and so I had him chop it down. We had 2 shorter versions, and I got the disco version in there.
Yeah.
The long version. You know, Brad has been with us for quite some time. It was a very strange story. He started out
22 years.
22 years?
Yeah. 2000, right?
I'm sure you heard this story before, but he was sick and tired of his life. He could have a documentary about his life. He was sick and tired with his life as a bookkeeper. Some podunk town in Australia.
Oh, stop. You make it sound like
he was.
Great. He just was fascinated with what we do.
He took off his visor, the green see-through visor, and he threw it down, and he quit his job, and he got a ticket to America.
Right.
And when he got here, he had one of his blokes, as he calls it, one of his pals.
Yeah, Cameron.
Cameron was he just got married, living with his wife, and they had some one-bedroom efficiency apartment in the city.
And in walks Brad, all 6'5" of him.
And he decides he's going to move in there and sleep on the couch.
That's right.
And I had talked to Cameron about this, and he said it almost cost him his marriage.
It did. Yeah, it wasn't good for them. Yeah.
Are they still together?
They're still together, happily
Then
married. It's great.
Once they got him out of there, they were happy.
But I was on the Scott Shannon nightclub scene while I was working for Scott Shannon on a morning show. So.
Right.
Well, I had nothing to do with the nightclub scene. That was all inflicted on yourself.
Yeah, but I had to get your stories.
Yeah, that was the order of the day.
So for 9 years... For the last 9 years, he's been doing his red carpet interviews, and he's been to how many Super Bowls?
Yeah, I've been in total about 14 Super Bowls.
14?
So more than 9 years.
Yeah. How about Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, I'm up to about 16 derbies.
How about Olympics?
I've done 7 Olympics.
How about royal weddings?
I've done 2, actually. I did Prince William, and then I went to the Prince Harry and Meghan one for you. That's when I reported live from a barbecue restaurant in Windsor.
Outside of Windsor Castle.
And through all this, he consumed a large amount of beer at almost all these events until the last...
the World Cup.
Yeah, the World Cup.
That's right.
Yeah, and
then I had to lose some weight. Yeah.
Stars he's talked to, Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler loves him, Reese Witherspoon,
Julia Roberts.
Well, she's not too fond of him. Ricky Gervais, Halle Berry,
Ricky Gervais,
Keanu Reeves. There's basically any big star.
Robert De Niro.
I remember when, for some reason, the number one judge on American Idol almost adopted him as his son.
Simon Cowell was great.
Yeah, he loved him.
Simon Cowell, he would be standing in a gaggle of reporters, and Simon say, "Hey, Brad, how are you? Come on over here."
Well, because he's like a foot taller than everybody
and the
else.
other guys look over and say, "Where are you going?" I'm going over here. I'm going over here where he is.
Well, it's a funny game, isn't it, radio? Because it's a beautiful thing to get 2 bites of an amazing apple. So I loved my PLJ years, Scott. I walked in off the street and ran into you, and you sort of touched me on the head and anointed me with some kind of magic, and I lasted 10 years with you the first go round, and then the fact that I got to do another 9 years with you.
That was a bonus. You never thought you'd see me again.
No, that's right.
I know. I did 3 incarnations
that's
with
right.
him.
And the last 9 years have been very pleasurable. It's been a more mature approach. I'm a father. I got 3 kids. It's I got to put Harvey on the radio as a little boy, a little kid, and so
Scott's
thank you.
more mature, isn't he?
So thanks to Scott and Patty. Thank you.
Idiot.
It's been a great fun time. You said you wanted to do more of the Ellen DeGeneres type show, an upbeat, positive show.
Gentler show.
And it's been a positive show with great people in the studio.
Minus the toxic backstage
That's
atmosphere.
right.
We got to put that in there.
But Brad, you got a big heart, and your work ethic is beyond comparison to anyone I know.
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing to say, talk about retirement, but I look at you, Scott, and I still feel that you're only just getting started as well, and that's how I feel. Yeah.
Well, we'll see after I wind it down and relax for a while.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Once again, don't relax too long.
Scott Shannon, 101.1 CBS-FM.
Hot Rod Stewart, he's still got that hairdo with the hair sticking up.
That wild, yeah. He's cute.
I try to do that. It just doesn't work for me.
You need more mousse.
I wear it like that. When I come home, my wife says, "What happened to you?"
You look like you got electrocuted.
What happened to you?
Yeah.
We were just talking about Brad and his son, Harvey, and he would take Harvey along on some of his celebrity treks. How old was he back in 2017 when you took him to see that Taye Diggs?
Yeah, he would have been 6. I reckon. Yeah. 6 years of age.
6 years,
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6
see, he's
years.
not funny anymore because he's all grown up and smart.
You fired him from movie reviews when his voice broke.
Oh, baby.
What was that, like on a Brady
Shame
Bunch?
on you for growing up.
Like that Brady Bunch kid. So let's go back. Harvey was working and what's this guy? He's a movie star and a model.
and he was on the original Rent. He
Yeah.
was married for a long time to Idina Menzel.
Yeah, Tay Diggs.
Yeah.
That's
Tay
right.
Diggs runs into Harvey Blanks.
Hey, Tay Diggs, fantastic actor, and
So Harvey handled that one?
Yeah, Harvey got a couple of words in here.
Let's see what Tay Diggs had to say.
How are you, mate? Oh, no, great to see you, buddy. This is my son, Harvey.
Harvey, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
So, who are you in this movie?
Wonderful question. I am the character of Capper. I'm a cat.
Are you a cool cat?
Of course.
Right, of course
Come
you
on,
are.
man. I mean, you see my suit, right, dude? Like, I'm a cool cat.
Any last question, Harvey?
Well, have fun seeing this movie.
All right, man.
I gotta tell you, Tay Diggs is taken aback. See, he's got this big 6'5" Australian there, and he thinks he's going to ask him the questions. And here comes little Harvey, and he goes, "Well,
Hey, Harvey. Who are you in the movie?
who are you, buddy? Let me
Okay.
hear that one more time."
Who are you?
No, I want to hear Tay's response.
All right, here we go. Listen.
Who are you in this movie?
Wonderful question. I am the character.
First of all, he's got to start looking down. He probably didn't even know Harvey was there. And he goes like this, "What? What the hell are you talking to me for? I'm talking to this guy. Well, who are you?"
I like that. Okay.
He goes, "Oh, yeah, all right." He was definitely
He
taking
thought he was talking to a little boy, and suddenly he was talking to a reporter.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy's been in several movies already.
Oh, he's been in
yeah.
a ton of movies and Broadway. He's huge on Broadway.
Just the way that Harvey couched that, when he's almost said it like, "Who the hell are you anyway?"
Yes, that's right.
It was great.
That's what it sounded like. But anyway, they became friends. And coming up on the show, we're going to take you back and examine the history of Patty Steele and radio.
Oh, no.
And she, I mean, as she said a couple of times, she is not retiring.
Mm-hmm.
She's going back to work as soon as it becomes available.
Wait a minute. Did I say it a couple of times or did I say it like 40
You
times?
said it a lot. And I just want people to know that.
Thank you.
So, especially if you have a radio station.
Yeah.
She is available.
Or you
And
need a
she's-
spare person on a podcast. Or you need...
Yeah, and I give her
Voice work.
an incredible recommendation, 4-star recommendation.
Why, thank you,
Me,
Scott
not
Shannon.
so much, but she gets a big 4-star recommendation. So.
Thank you.
I'm retiring. She's not.
You may not be.
How long?
Don't hold yourself to
I
that.
don't know. Coming up, we'll examine her history on the radio. You'll hear her first tapes ever.
Yikes.
First air checks ever, as they call it in the business. And we're going to have one of Brad's favorite moments. It has to do with a former football player.
Yeah. Well, it involves Scott and Patty, and it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I love Scott Shannon.
Love Scott Shannon in the morning.
WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1 New York.
I listen every morning.
Happy holidays from the home of New York's greatest hits.
CBS-FM, Big Show, Scott and Patty checking in on the star phone today. A 3-time Grammy Award winner. He's got all kinds. I can't even go through all the awards. If I do all of his awards, we won't get to talk to him. Please say good morning to Rob Thomas.
You guys are totally you're totally omitting my world's greatest dad mug that I have.
Oh, that's
like really.
I got to tell you what, you've gotten very busy on social media lately.
Yeah.
It's funny, man, because everybody I know that's on it, I feel like I'm never on it. You know what I mean? Like I'll go to the studio, where I'm working on this new Matchbox record, and I'll come in from the studio, and my wife Madia, she'll look at me and she'll be like, "Well, why didn't you post anything? You were in the studio all day. You didn't post one picture of you guys." And I'm like, "Well, you're making music. I forgot to tell people about it."
I forget all the time, Rob. I mean, because I'm living life and doing what I like to do. And then there's this other job that we have, too, and that's social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you forgive me, but I've never been sitting around doing something and think, you know, a bunch of strangers need to know about this. Or, you know, I've never seen something happen on the news and be like, you know what this moment's missing? My opinion.
You know what? I'm going to borrow that from you. Oh, my God, that's funny. Yeah. You mean nobody wants to see what you're having for dinner?
Oh, wait a minute. Biden did what? You know what the world needs to know? What Rob Thomas thinks about that. Hold
Right,
on.
exactly.
Everybody thinks their opinion is so important and that'll change the world.
God bless. You know, but sometimes they get through and it does. So keep going. Keep trying.
Tell me about the new Matchbox album.
Well, you know, it's funny. We weren't going to make a record. We were going to tour in 2020, and we kept kicking that can down the road and kept postponing it. And then this year, when we postponed it, we were like, if we're going to be sitting around all year, I had a solo record that was kind of on tap and getting close to like finishing writing. And I just kind of put that aside so that we could get together and make this record. I'm glad we did.
So you're pretty happy. So you got a couple big hits on there, you think?
You know, I don't know what that means anymore, but
Who does?
We're definitely really happy with the songs. You know, it's a good effort on everybody's part, and it sounds kind of like I think where Matchbox 20 is supposed to be right about now. And literally today, I'm going to walk into the studio, and when I walk out, it's a wrap on everybody. We've like all the recording is done. We're just starting mixing.
You know, it's funny because you make so much music and you've done so many great songs, and I think just a handful of them turned out to be huge hits. I mean, enough to make a living. I understand that more than most people in most bands. But when I go on YouTube and I see some of the stuff that didn't make it, I go, holy crap.
I know.
That's nice of you to say. You know, what's funny is my biggest thing is always that if you write all the time. And like, you know, no matter how long I live, I don't know that I'll be able to even release all the stuff that I'm writing. And to be fair, not all of it needs to be released. I mean, but you know, like just being out there in the world. And so, like, I relish any opportunity I get where I can actually, you know, take some of these thoughts and unburden myself and put them down, have them out in the world, and clear a little space in my head for the next one.
So who tells you when something doesn't need to be released? Do you tell yourself, or does somebody else weigh in?
Well, you know, I am the first line of defense, and then Marty knows. I mean, Marty, you know, has been my best A&R person for 24 years. Ever since we met, she has an uncanny ear, and I think she's 99% of the time she's been right when she hears something and says, you know, like this is good, this should go, and then never lets me forget when I'm wrong.
Speaking of your wife, Marisol, I know you guys run this organization called Sidewalk Angels Foundation.
Yeah.
You guys put that together back in 2003. Can you tell everybody exactly what it does?
You know, our thing is providing critically needed funds to organizations around the country, working a lot with animal rescue, working a lot with no-kill shelters, helping them get medical facilities built, helping these rescues happen. I want to be able to try and take these people who want to do good things all over the world to help animals and help them out. And we've now reached out to Serbia. We've been in Puerto Rico. We've been in Jamaica. And it's only getting stronger. We're actually doing 2 shows. I don't know if you know, but every year we usually do 3 nights at the Borgata every year for like the last decade.
Right.
And all the money goes to Sidewalk Angels. We haven't been able to do that recently, but this year we're doing a show at Wind Creek Casino, and then we're doing a show at the Borgata, but in the big room instead of 3 nights in the small room.
Wow.
And so we're kind of back to being able to start to raise money again, and so we're really excited to start getting the message out there again.
All right, those gigs are going to be Saturday, January 14th at the Wind Creek Center. That's at the Wind Creek Casino in Bethlehem. And then the next night, Sunday, January 15th, you'll be at the Borgata, like you just said. That's going to be one night only, 10th anniversary celebration, and you're probably going to have some special guests on that one, right?
We're going to have some very fun surprise special guests, a few different people that I'm pretty excited about. And if you can't listen, and if you can't find tickets, there's always a guy outside in a trench coat. Just talk to him.
Perfect. He'll either mug you or sell you tickets, right?
Either way, it's going to be a memorable night.
For all the information, go to sidewalkangelsfoundation.org. You can find him on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As you heard, he's always on there doing something. And we're going to miss you tomorrow for the big Blythedale party. I know you can't make it, but we will have you up there with a Zoom or video or something like that, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Listen, it kills me to not be able to be there. You know, this has always been one of the biggest parts of my holiday, the biggest parts of my year. And so I'm glad to be able to participate in any way that I can and try and support it and get the message out about all the great things that Blythedale does and continues to do, and it's done, for so long.
And we thank you so much for your presence over how many years? When was the first year you got there?
He did.
I don't remember. I looked back and I barely recognized the young guy that used to be there.
I told you he doesn't know
It's
any
like
better than
25
I
years,
do.
right?
Him and I are on the same
It's been a
page.
long time.
Him and I on the same page. We don't know what the heck's going on.
Right.
We just go from day to day, right, Rob?
Yeah, I just remember that it was a very long time ago. Scott Shannon told me about it. I said, I got to wake up when? And then I went there, and then from that point on, I was like, just tell me I'll be there every year.
He is Rob Thomas, and he will appear tomorrow at Blythedale via satellite. Good luck on the album, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. It's always a pleasure. Love you guys.
Rob Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. CBS-FM.
It's Gene Snapperoni.
Oh, Gino.
This may be the toughest phone call I've ever made.
Now, for those of you who don't know Gene Snapperoni, he used to drive a truck. What's up?
I couldn't go by without saying goodbye.
Aw, you're a crier. You can start now if you'd like.
This guy met us when we used to do the summer blast off at Jenkinson's.
Yeah, he would bring his Snap-on tool truck down there, and my kids were about 3 inches tall. They were really tiny. I have
They were
pictures
taller
of
than
them.
that.
Not much. I have pictures of them in that truck. It's amazing.
What happens in the Snap-on truck stays in the Snap-on.
Well, that wasn't the kids that had that slogan. It was Nolan. Nolan used to get wall-eyed and drive around in that truck with you, and you guys would get into some problems.
There were days when we never went to bed.
Oh,
there you go. And look what you did to that magician Gallagher.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm going to go down the rest of my life being to blame for that one.
Yeah. Gallagher was supposed to come on. You know the guy, he just passed away,
Yep.
bless his soul.
Right.
Gallagher was supposed to perform at one of our big summer blast-offs at Jinx, and he never showed up. And then Snapperoni tells me, well, last time I saw him, he passed out in the sand on the beach. So I sent somebody down to the beach. I think it was Brad. He came back. He said he's in no shape to go on the radio.
Oh, he found him. I didn't know you found him.
Oh, he found him. He
Yeah.
didn't want to talk to Brad.
Barely breathing.
All right, my friend. Thank you for all your support. You're a wonderful person.
Scott, I got to say one thing before we go. I love you.
Oh.
I told you he was going to cry. He never lets you down, does he?
No, and that's what we love about
When he
him.
cries, Patty cries.
And you do. He's an
8:48.
angel.
We're rolling to 10 this morning. And it's time to win. Patty's got a Big Show brain buster for you.
Okay, one of our favorite people who worked on the show was Trevor Martin. But Scott couldn't get his name straight at the begining.
That's a weird name.
And the beginning actually lasted the whole time he was here. So he gave him a nickname. What was it?
What was Trevor's nickname? 800-367-1101 to win tickets to see Janet Jackson in concert at the Garden. The tickets go on sale tomorrow morning, but you can win them right now.
Non-stop music, kicking off the workday commercial-free with Scott and the Big Show.
CBS-FM. Happy holidays. The Big Show is on. Last time around, direct from the home studios. It's our last show here. Mm-hmm. We started in this operation. What was it? Say 2013? Was that it?
2014. March.
2014.
He's trying to stretch it.
May. I'd like to get to 9 years, but it's 8 and change.
Well, it's 9 seasons.
Yeah.
9 seasons.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
How much
show-
we do 2 a year?
This used to be a show, but now it's like a party going on.
Right.
Trish and Kathleen rolled in here from Westchester County. They brought a whole tray of Christmas cookies and everything.
Man, those are
And
dangerous.
And then the Patty family rolled in here.
Yep.
We got Will. There's only one missing. Where's Jake?
He's in Colorado. Couldn't come back for this.
Will looks like he just slept over here on the way.
And
in
my
the
baby
car.
brother, Dave Plotkin, is also here.
All right, so, and there's all kind of action going on.
Yeah.
Our old producer, Andre, slid by this morning. He's here. And I just found out that a friend of ours is here. This guy was a listener of Z100. And the first time he ever called the station, he was 5 years old. His name is Eric Nagel. He couldn't say his own name. So he called in and he said, I said, who is it? It's Eric Nagel. And I thought he was saying Eric Noogie. And then what? You told me you were 25 or something?
Yeah, I thought you had to be an adult to call the radio station, so I lied and thought I got away with it. And then,
you did okay till I asked you a question.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the first time you ever called, or the first time you admitted it?
No, I think that was the first time I got through. Because as a little kid, like, wow, they're giving out the phone number. I know how to use the phone now. I can talk to somebody on the radio.
5 years old, so I swear to God, it was one of the funniest phone calls ever. It's Eric Noogie. I said, he could. I thought you were making that up, but he was trying to say his name, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
And Can you say it now?
Barely.
And Z100 inspired you to get into radio.
Well, it was that station, but it all goes to you. You were pretty much the driving force. I was like, wow, I could make a career talking on the radio and saying funny and dumb things. And I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. And I figured out how to do it.
Dumb?
Yeah.
So then he got started with Opie and Anthony. He's the one that came up with that church, St. Patrick's promotion, right?
No. That was not my idea.
Okay,
I actually worked at PLJ for a tiny bit.
Oh,
96 through 98. I was an intern there. But I think I used to have to, sometimes if I was there in the morning, I'd have to go to your office and get your Diet Dr. Pepper. Like, you'd be in the studio by yourself and nobody was around. It's like, go into my office, get my Diet Dr. Pepper, and that's pretty much what I had to do for Scott.
That was your gig, huh? and then after it was Opie and Anthony, I came over here and I got a text from him. He said, they want to put you on the air. I said, what do you think? I'm crazy? I'm not going on with Opie and Anthony.
I had to talk this guy like it was traumatic stress.
Like
it's like, look, I guarantee you this is going to be great for you. We want to talk to you. We're big fans. And look, we used to do a segment called Jocktober for many years.
Oh, yeah.
And it was less than favorable for the show that you were doing at the time.
The Scott and Todd show on PLJ.
We don't talk about that.
Right, sorry.
But we did it for a couple years, and I kept telling him, like, you're focusing on the wrong aspect of the audio of this show. And Jim Norton, the comedian on our show, realized one year that, yes, we were focusing on the wrong person.
It was
the other person.
They were destroying. They remember that?
The boat movie, the battery car, there's a tree on my house, all these little intersectionals that you would spit out there that were hilarious because they were used out of context. And we realized, like, oh, it's the other thing that's the issue with this show, not Scott.
The other thing.
And that's
they
when
out who they really hated.
That's when the tide turned, the public opinion swayed, and when I finally convinced him to come on the show, it was gangbusters. He blew them away, and the audience went 100% Team Scott. They were making their own merchandise. They had Team Scott shirts. They had signs at other events.
We had, when we first signed on, there was a big jump in the ratings, and most of them a lot of them were Opie and Anthony listeners and people who came with us because at that time PLJ had a big
was on the skids.
Ship anchor on it.
Whoa. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad you made me do the interview.
Yeah, I am too. It was one of the.
It was wonderful.
It was one of the best things that we could have done for you launching your time here at CBS-FM, and it's just been fantastic.
What are you going to do for us next?
We're going to talk off air.
Yeah.
We've got some stuff
Eric
lined up.
Noogie, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Scott.
Now, Brad Blanks loves this interview, and he really didn't realize at the time that I had been friends with Terry Bradshaw. I'm not going to say friends with him, but I had interviewed him 5 or 6 times. Yeah. Now, he's in bed. His wife Tammy's next to him. One of his fourth wife.
Yeah, his fourth wife. Yeah, that's right.
What he does, he gets a new wife every. He had 4 Super Bowl rings.
Continuing to make friends, isn't he?
He had 4 Super Bowl rings and 4 wives, but this one kind of stuck.
Okay. And he's performing at the Borgata, and that's why he called in to do an interview with Scott.
Playing football?
No, country music.
See, that's what I couldn't figure out what the hell he was going to do. So this is what happened.
Part 1.
When we talked to Terry Bradshaw. Obviously, a voice sent from heaven.
The midnight train is winding low.
What do you think, sir? Is that guy going to be a big star or not?
I'll tell you, from what I heard, so soulful.
That's the last thing anybody's going to call Terry Bradshaw. He's so soulful.
You're going to be at the Borgata Friday night in AC. What are you going to do?
I am going to put on a show for 70 minutes, and we shortened the show because I'm wanting to add. Let me tell you exactly what happened.
Terry, you don't sound like you have any idea what you're going to do.
No. I'm going to sing about 8 songs. I'm going to tell you my life story, 2 songs, and bingo, there it is.
For God's sakes, Terry, that sounds like a horrible idea.
I said, well, let me just...
Let's go with a different team.
You need to come, Scott, because you are a doubter.
Are you going to show them that the stomach where you had all the whatever that thing was you're on TV?
The stomach.
What the heck was it you had all over your body?
Shingles.
Yeah, you're going to show them your shingles?
Yeah, that's great, Scott.
Oh, my God.
I'm just wondering, Terry. Now, one more thing.
God.
You made a lot of money on that, didn't you?
Shingles?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't make a lot of money.
The Terry Bradshaw Show, Borgata Hotel Casino, and they're actually charging for the tickets, right?
I don't like this guy, honey. What are you coming to the show?
You couldn't pay me enough to sit there and listen to that.
Come on. That's going to be amazing.
I'm kidding you. It's going to be great.
Honey, he said, but I couldn't pay him enough for him to come to the show. Thanks. Who set this interview up?
Terry, I'll see you soon. Come on by.
I will.
See you, Terry. We love you, buddy. He knows I was kidding.
He does.
I'm not sure that Tammy knew.
No, right.
She's laying there trying to sleep. He said, honey, this guy's insulting me.
Actually, you made him funnier than he would normally be, so you probably sold tickets for him.
It was unbelievable.
That was very funny.
So, Brad, what happened then?
A few months later, I ran into Terry Bradshaw at the Miami Super Bowl, and
Wait a minute.
I saw it upon myself. You made me the peacemaker.
Wait a minute.
Scott, yeah.
What are you looking at?
Well, our producer ran down to put something in the meter.
Which means that we can't
Hey,
access
Dave.
the other half of the
Hey,
interview.
Dave, quit yakking. Come over here.
Me?
Yeah, he needs to run the other half of the interview. and he
Terry
doesn't
Bradshaw,
know
part
the
2. What's Kathleen doing in there?
She can do it.
Is that it?
She was a producer.
Does it say part 2? Yep. All right, put it up there.
Yeah.
Got my own daughter in there.
This is great.
All right. Let Dave do it. She's already got
Kathleen
it.
Shannon, just read your
Kathleen
blood.
Shannon saves the day. It's Terry Bradshaw 2.
Terry Bradshaw.
No wonder they're shutting this show down.
That's what you want, part 2?
We're going down with it.
Is that it?
Well, it's part 2.
All right.
Hold on to your seats.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see.
And I happen to know that Terry Bradshaw is floating around in the all the festivities there in Miami. So yesterday I gave Brad an assignment: track him down and find out A, if he still remembers that, B, and be sure and let him know that I was misinterpreted.
Well, you kind of wanted the fences mended, didn't you?
Yes, that's what I wanted. Some asphalt in the big pothole.
You being the pothole.
You interviewed him on an escalator.
That's correct, yes.
So let's see what transpired.
Terry, how are you, sir?
I'm just fine. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
asking.
first, I got to say congratulations on the reality show.
That'll be interesting.
Filmed any of that yet?
We start filming in 2 weeks.
Oh no! Now my boss, Scott Shannon, come to mend the fences between you and him from that phone call. Remember you were performing at the Borgata?
Yes. Yes. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. Wants to apologise that he thought he might have been me.
You know, I didn't know he was so sarcastic. It was funny. And then, but people were listening and they were not happy. And I just said, well, I don't know why he did that. Maybe he thought he had to fire off at me first because I'd fire back. But he was so rough. It got comical.
Come on. You actually yelled to your wife.
Yes, I did. You believe what this guy's saying? Scott, there are no fences to mend. I thought you were hilarious. I got it. And the only thing that hurt me was I wanted you to come to the show with your family. You didn't want to come, so he said you wouldn't come. How many tickets I gave you? That's too dang funny, man.
And I think Shingles got a mention as well.
Oh, yeah, Shingles, absolutely.
All right, good. Well, glad I feel like I'm the peacemaker in
You
this.
are the peace.
You're Scott Shannon and Terry
Peacemaker. Peacemaker.
Wow.
Brad, good job, my friend.
I'm not sure he's over it, Scott.
I think he is.
Okay.
How about that, Brad?
All right.
Oh, it's unbelievable. How's when his brain clicks and he remembers you?
I heard the exact moment when it clicked.
Right.
The light went off. Oh, my God. I think we're okay now. Good to go, Brad?
Yeah, I think you're good now.
I'm back on the train.
WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1.
I love the music.
Celebrating 50 years of New York's greatest hits.
The greatest hits of all time.
Scott, it's your old friend John Bon Jovi. Congratulations on nearly 40 years of rocking the radio. You've done a lot for me, for the band, for the Soul Kitchen. Hell, you've been my dad's golf buddy. Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to hearing about your next chapter. And I want to thank you for all the incredible work that you've done at the Blythedale Children's Hospital. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. Happy holidays, everybody.
That guy's been a part of our show for quite some time. Always generous with his time. And, of course, the work that he does for people who need help.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, John. And live and direct into the Mothership Studios, one of our old pals. He was a big star on American Idol. He was a big star on America's Got Talent. I thought Heidi Klum was going to wrap him up and take him home.
Take a bite.
They call him The Voice. He is Sal Valentinetti. Good morning, buddy.
Hey.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Brad, Louie. How you guys doing?
Awesome, Sal.
You know, I tried. Your father would not answer his damn phone. I called him time after time. I tried to call your mother.
What were you trying to
You
get?
want to know, Scott? You want to know? I get a call one night from my father. And at very late at night, and not very typical of him. And I answer the phone, and I go, Dad, what's going on? He said, I think Scott Shannon is trying to call me, but I'm not sure.
He's
You
not
didn't believe
sure.
that you were actually trying to call him, Scott. You don't understand the brevity of a phone call from Scott Shannon. It left him perplexed and flustered.
I do have a short attention span, but I had been dialing that number. I thought I had the wrong number, and I dialed because what happened was pretty embarrassing. He and your mom made a big donation to Blythedale Children's Hospital about 2 years ago.
Oh, this is the check you found.
And I'm going through my files, and I found the check. Because you know how crazy it gets out there.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to let him know to say thank you. And I don't know what happened to the money.
Oh my Lord.
I'm guessing that they found out the check didn't clear. I won't get into all that.
Yeah, this is something.
If he ever returns my call, I'll give him the whole information.
Well, you let me know so I can write 2 checks, because the work you do for Blythedale Children's Hospital is really incomparable, Scott. You know, your influence spans far beyond just about every car, construction site, and office in the tri-state area. It goes straight to these kids, and you see it every year with your Blythedale fundraiser. You really are an angel. The New York is going to be really sorry without you.
Well, I appreciate that, but I got to tell you something. That the people who work in that hospital, as you know from being there, are very special, and it's almost like it's a big family there.
Oh, it's totally a family.
We always say, Patty, that you can't tell the people who work there from the parents of the kids.
No, because there's such joy and such love in the way that they deal with those little ones. And the little ones are so happy and joyous. It sounds like it would be a depressing place to go. It couldn't be further from the truth. It is a beautiful...
It's the happiest...
Isn't it?
Patty, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's the happiest, most joyous occasion of the Christmas season. It's to see just the love and the warmth on everyone's faces, that the parents and the families can forget about what's going on for a day.
Right. You are listening to the man they call the Voice, Sal Valentinetti. Now, you're in California, and I appreciate you getting up this early to call us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still dark out here. But
it does that. It does that out there. It's weird.
when given the opportunity to be part of such a moment like this, you don't pass it up no matter where you are. Scott, I could have been in Japan. I would have been up with you right now.
You're the best, man. Tell your father tell
Scott,
your mom and dad we said thank you, by the way, will you?
Yeah.
I will, Scott. I'm some Goomba kid from Long Island who was on a TV show. Lucky enough already, and you picked me up out of obscurity. You allowed me to be late on a couple occasions to your show.
Yeah, you do have a habit of rolling in a little tardy,
right?
And still bring people to my shows, and you really blessed my career in so many different ways, Scott. You really, I mean, there's not enough good things I could say about you.
You're going to keep going until I start crying. You know that? I'm not going to do it. It's too early in the show.
You got a few minutes, Scott.
All I want you to know, we love you, buddy, and we'll see you soon.
Love you guys, too. Love you, Patty. Love you. Love you, Louie. Love you, Brad. You guys are just the best. You really are.
You got them all, man.
Thanks, Sal.
And Heather.
Scott, you're the voice of New York. There's nothing else to be said about that. You really are.
Voice of New York till tomorrow. Thank you, Sal. Sal Valentinetti on CBS-FM. CBS-FM last time around. Got a guy checking in today. A deli man from Connecticut. His name is Tony. Morning, Tony.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
You ran the Firehouse Deli, but I think your son's running it now, right?
He is, and I'm back here right now in the kitchen with him. Hold on. Hello?
Hey, man. Is that your dad?
Yes, it is. He's the best. I'm lucky.
Now you're running the whole deal now.
That's right.
You know, I sneak in there every so often. I have to say,
do you?
I have to say hi to you.
Make sure you say hello next time you're in. This way I can buy you a nice sandwich.
No, I'm not like that. I'm not a don't you know who I am kind of guy.
Yeah. Of course
I want free food.
Since I was a kid.
It's a long
so
time. Yep, I'm calling it quits.
Congratulations.
For the rest of the year, I'm off.
You're gonna be missed.
Are you Tony Jr.?
Yes, I am.
All right, my friend. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
I'll talk to you. Have a nice one, Scott. Thank you.
His dad checked in. His dad's got that kind of Sopranos voice.
Oh, yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about.
How you doing?
You got that kind of voice.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again to our friend Robert Moses and everybody over Good Day New York. That was really a nice piece they put on this morning. We didn't get to see the whole thing, but we saw a little bit of it on TV, actually, because we're doing a show here.
I taped it, so I will send it to you, too.
Thank you.
Our Anthony McCaffrey has written to just say how much he loves us and how he's wishes us. I'm going to get emotional. He's been coming up to see us for 22 years?
Man.
At least 22 years, probably more than that.
His mother used to bake cookies for us.
She baked cookies for us. He was the
birthday. He was the
bus
rock
driver
and roll
rodeo.
Bus driver,
He won the rodeo, the bus driver rodeo in Vegas. He's the best, and he came up and he's just writing to tell us how much he loves us.
Now, we played the history of Patty Steele a little while ago.
Yes.
Mine is not quite as polished as hers, even with the little chipmunk voice.
But it's a lot longer.
Well, yeah, I was
Been around a little longer.
I started a while, and I think this is about the first station I was ever on.
Right.
And this tape, this air check, I found it in the basement, in a box. It's been put away. It's never been played on the air since it was on the air.
Since it was on, right.
It's the first time, so keep that in mind. And
you're making excuses for you, but I sounded like a chipmunk.
Well, you did.
I did.
You did.
I did.
There's no
a cute one though, very cute.
Yes. Guilty.
You'll have plenty of time. You'll have plenty of time to work on me after this.
Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Scott Shannon Show.
WCBS-FM, WABB.
Pick up on it. Shooby-dooby-dooby-dooby day is the name of the thing. Dig. 908 WABB Mad Button Time Super Shan radio program. Happy birthday to David Jernigan. And David's 15 years old today. Let's ring the birthday bell.
Ring that Super Shan birthday bell. Yes, sir, Rudy Tooty Tooty.
Hotels, Lord, I'm tired of these one-night stands. Strange places.
The box tops are moving on. Coke after Coke after Coke.
Pick up on Coca-Cola, those handy one-way bottles, and you can earn valuable CCA points. Thank you.
Thank you. All the WABB good guys say thank you for spelling rabbit with a W. We patrol the greater Port City area, giving away hundreds of prizes to those displaying WABB IT signs. Again, thank you.
This is the Scott Shannon program on Mobile's much more music station, WABB.
9:30 in the Port City. Papa Paul Revere and the Raiders. The name of the song is Kicks. 9:46 WABB Mad Button Time on the Scott Shannon Hit Pack Radio program.
Radio News Headlines.
Shannon with the 9:30 report. Governor Lester Maddox has lashed out against those he calls a group of unshaven, undeodorized, so-called disciples of peace and love who recently marched on the Pentagon to protest the Vietnam War.
WMAK Nashville.
9 o'clock in Music City. This is your Super Shan program.
WMAK.
Speaking of heavy music, tonight on the Power Hour, you can pick up on Blind Faith, Jimi Hendrix, Buffalo Springfield, the Grand Funk Railroad, and that brand new super heavy Mother Earth album, recorded out of Mount Juliet. That's tonight for your head at 11 o'clock, my Power Hour. Now Junior Walker, the All-Stars, Market 15 from the MAK Super Summer Survey. This is what does it take to win your love.
Shannon.
WQXI, and the lion sleeps tonight. Daytime, he just sits around flicking his bick. It's 5:58. Quixie, with Shannon and War, with a cut from the Why Can't We Be Friends album.
WQXI, Atlanta.
Beatles cooking with Hey Jude at 6:06 on the Shannon program. The annual DeKalb County Fair is being held all this week at South DeKalb Mall. I don't know if they got all those bees rounded up or what happened to them in Stone Mountain. A bee truck turned over out there. It carried beehives, and now loose in the Stone Mountain area, 2 million bees.
WPGC presents Scott Shannon.
Good evening. How are you tonight? Shannon on the radio, and I'm feeling fine. 2 hours of memories, 2 hours of the best oldies you've ever heard, some of the stories behind them. Let's kick it off with a 5-man electrical band.
WRBQ-FM Tampa, WRBQ-AM St. Petersburg, Q105, Tampa Bay's radio station.
Roll the tapes. It's time to go high above the city to those beautiful penthouse studios. The No Jive 105, the 100,000-watt flamethrower, where we find that always dapper rapper, the Joy Boy with the Joy Toy, the big boss with the big hot sauce, the man, the can, the man with the plan, the daddy with the radio. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for that oldies hour, guaranteed more like glad in your stride, more soul in your stroll, and more pep in your step. The oldies hour is on the air everywhere. If I'm lying, I'm dying, and grits ain't groceries, eggs ain't poultry. And Mona Lisa lives in New York City. Hello, Q105.
Collect from Ronald Reagan. Will you pay?
A collect phone call from Ronald Reagan. Yes, operator, I can pay now.
Well, I keep calling collect. I want to keep my expenses down here.
Why do you have a lot of money, Ronnie? I know you had made a lot of money from those Borax commercials and those Van Heusen commercials. And
General Electric, too. Don't forget General Electric.
General Electric. But why do you call me collect?
Well, I just thought I'd ask it one last time.
This is the last date, Ronald. You can't give me at this number. I got to give you a new number.
Well, that's what you sure you haven't changed your mind?
No, I haven't changed the line, so you won't call. I still like you, even though you call collect and you bug me about leaving. I'm going to the Big Apple.
Today is the last day?
Today is it.
And you're going to split?
I'm going to split, Mr. President.
Radio talk. That's kind of jive, get down.
Yeah, you used to be in radio, didn't you?
Well, yes, a long time ago back in Iowa, WHO.
What were those 78 RPM records like?
Well, they weren't so bad. You had to wind up the turntable about 2.5 times, I think, to get it up to speed.
Have you told Nancy that I'm leaving?
Yes, and she's pretty upset.
She's mad, huh?
Well, she says that you're going to be sorry because you're going to miss the sunshine of Florida.
I will miss that.
You're gonna miss all the ocean breeze.
I'm going to miss that.
You're gonna miss being able to walk on the beach.
I'm going to miss that.
You're gonna miss a lot of things. You get back to New York and you're gonna wind up getting mugged the first thing.
Good morning from the Q Morning Zoo. Rise and shine with folks like you. Good morning from the Q Morning Zoo. Get up with the morning Q Zoo. Get up in the morning, get up in the morning, get up with the morning Q Zoo.
A lot of people might find this hard to believe, but over the past 2 years, I made an awful lot of good friends with people I've never even seen face to face, just people who call in on the telephone. And both young people, little baby DJs, as I like to call them.
Yeah, we're going to miss you a lot, no doubt about it. I hope you do real well in New York.
Well, you know how tough it is up there. I'm going to try to pull it together, and I'm going to represent Q105 and all my buddies as well as I can. There's been a lot of guys who went up there and said they were going to do it, and came back all beaten up and battered. As a matter of fact, about 95% of them do that, don't they, Mason?
They sure do.
They all come back all skinned up. But
if anybody can do it in the Big Apple, Scotty will do fine.
As I was telling somebody, you know, when I was a little kid, I used to dream a lot. And then as I grew up, I found out that when you dream it, it's a dream. If you do it, it's not a damn dream anymore.
That's right.
And I got one more dream. And that's it.
And you'll be there probably tonight, starting work on it.
Serving the universe from the top of the Empire State Building. Z100. Get out of the way.
The Z Morning Zoo on Z100.
It's 8 minutes after 6 a.m., August the 2nd, 1983. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, radio station WHTZ signs on the air. WHTZ is owned and operated by Malrite Communications and broadcast at a frequency of 100.3 megahertz. Signing on the air, this is WHTZ. Z100. It's time to wake up. The Tuesday Morning Zoo, Spanky on Super Sticker Patrol, and good morning to you from the zoo. Who's this?
Hello?
Oh, no, never mind. I know who this is. Good morning, Mr. Leonard.
Well, good morning, Scott. Yes, it's me, Mr. Leonard, Assistant Public Service Director and Research Assistant.
You know, obviously you conveniently forgot the telephone conversation we had yesterday just around 12 noon.
Yeah, that one, which one was that?
The conversation when I had Dean Thacker in my office when you said you would definitely make it into the radio station today in order to do the zoo with us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we didn't specify any specific time, Scott.
Right. The telephone call that Dean Thacker commented on, that if you wanted to continue to collect a check from Malrite Broadcasting?
Yeah, but I thought the conversation was about my work, not my appearances. See, I'm doing work right now.
The flamethrower. Z100.
The mothership has landed. Pirate Radio 100.3 FM. Welcome to the jungle.
6:04 in the morning in Los Angeles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the broken down, low-rent, sleazy, double greasy Pirate Radio Nut Hut Studios, it's time for the very first ever Southern California edition of the Shannon in the Morning Radio Spectacular and Entertainment Extravaganza, starring Michael Scott Shannon as the head pronounceator. Shannon in the Morning. If I'm lying, I'm dying. And grits ain't groceries, eggs ain't poultry, and Mona Lisa was a man.
From the capital of the universe. Wake up, New York City, baby. Wake it up with Scott and Todd. It's the big show, don't you know?
95.5 PLJ. This is Scott and Todd in the morning on 95.5 PLJ.
It's the big show, 8:51. Scott and Todd, last time around. Quite frankly, this is the longest that I've ever had one job or lived in one place.
This was your second family. We were all kind of family.
Yeah, basically, that's it. And, you know, we started in June of 1991. That's when we first met, and that's when we first started working together. And like Jay Leno said last night, you know, the greatest 22 and a half years of my life. Spent right here in this room with most of these people. And this is it today. I'm retiring from PLJ. I'm not retiring from life, and I'm not retiring from radio.
You got a lot of life in you.
But
you got a lot of golf balls that hit in the woods.
and people say, why? It's really not important why. It's just time. That's all it is. And I want to say thank you to my daughter, Kathleen, and my wife, Trish, for supporting me and being by my side. Joe Partavilla, the Monkey Boy. And, of course, my partner and my friend for almost 23 years, a guy who makes me laugh more than anyone I've ever known, Todd Clark Pettingill. And most of all, thanks to the people who make this all worthwhile. I'm talking about the people listening to us right now, radio listeners who have supported me for so many years. And believe me when I say I love all of you and I cherish my relationship and the relationship we've had for so many years. It's been a great ride, my friend. That's all I got. So one more time, I got to say thank you and bye, buckaroos.
9:41 as we draw to a close. I haven't seen a Patty tear yet.
No, I think I got done with them.
Think you all cried out?
I may be, because for the last month. Actually, the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a wild,
yeah.
When the slaughter began.
When did you start crying about this, Brad?
9:42 here at CBS-FM. There was a time when we used to do a live mystery movie. You know, we would do live, and we would have Patty and Brad show off their acting skills.
That's right.
And a lot of the P1 listeners would call and request separate, different movies. Mm-hmm. And here's basically, in case you missed it, here's how it sounded back then. Now, Louis has come up with this live version, and it seems to be working pretty well. Today, who's involved today, Louis?
We're bringing back our strongest team of Patty Steele and Brad Blanks.
That's a shame.
We had a lot of strong teams here.
No. You guys are the champions.
You're my competition.
If you can decipher what they're doing, you could win tickets to see Bon Jovi.
And here's today's mystery movie.
I love you, Jack.
No. Don't you say your goodbyes, Rose. Don't you give up. Don't do it.
I'm so cold. I can't feel my body.
Rose.
Did you feel my body?
Listen to me. Winning that ticket.
Don't feel her body.
Was the best thing that ever happened to me. You must do this. Honor.
You're skipping lines.
Promise me you will survive. No matter what happens. No matter how much shrinkage I have. Promise me now. And never let go of that promise.
Leo never said that.
There's nothing to hang on to.
Never let go.
I promise. I'll never let go, Jack. I'll try not to. I'll never let go.
Get off my float.
It's lucky it was a famous movie because no one would have been able to figure that out.
Oh, come on.
You guys who got lost back and forth.
First of all, it's Jack and Rose. Who doesn't know that?
That's what I mean. It's simple.
And our acting was spectacular.
It was.
You pushed me off the boat at the end. I think, didn't you? Did you push me off the boat?
Yeah, sure, of course. I got to save myself.
That's right.
One of the...
I'm doing that here.
One of the things that really made a difference in what we do, and I think Patty will go along with me on this, is there's some kind of connection between us and the people who listen to the radio.
Yeah.
And in the past, I don't know, month since we announced the situation, we've gotten so many emails, and I got more snail mail in the past 2 or 3 weeks than I ever got the whole time we were here.
Well, everybody emails or they message you.
I got them on my desk, and some people go through the whole relationship and talk about all the things that we've done and what we've meant to them, and different people going through. There was one lady who went through breast cancer with Patty at the same damn time.
A lot of people like that, yeah.
And I was going to take some of these notes and share them on the air, but
you're too emotional.
I don't think I could.
I know.
But I do want to say thanks to Louisa McGuinn and Laura Tomasco. Both of them had just beautiful notes.
There's so
types.
many.
Yeah.
So many.
I don't want to. I just couldn't bring myself to try to read those. After I was going to do it, and I think, well, how am I going to do that?
Well, we're still going to be there. We're still on social media. You can still reach out to us, and that way you can also find out what comes next.
The other day we had a lady call, and her name was, I should know her name because it's the same as our producer, Heather, and her name is Pfefferman.
Yes.
I believe had an F, right? Not Hefferman, but Pfefferman. And she wrote, and she's a school teacher, but she wrote and recorded a song about the show.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
she sounds like an indie artist, like an independent. It's really cool.
She kind of wrote the words and sang the song.
He's Michael Scott Shannon, been in radio a long time. He's fixing to retire, up the ladder he has climbed. For years he was our champion, he was such a force. He's been in the game, he made a name. He loves baseball, enjoys football, spends time on the golf course. Super Shan Scott Shannon, been from sea to shining sea, from Memphis to Nashville, Atlanta to D.C. Had a station in Tampa, he created the morning zoo. To New York he came to Z100 fame. They were the worst, he took them into first. It was his career breakthrough. His DJ Scott Shannon went to a station in L.A. He came back to the East Coast to host mornings on PLJ. He landed his dream job at CBS 101. It was Scott and Patty, Brad Blanks, the Aussie. He's in the Hall of Fame, we'll remember his name. Now he and Trish can have some fun.
There you go. It's a nice little song.
Adorable, yeah. What a sweetheart.
Even got Trish in there. How about that? Got a lot of those around there.
Right.
948 at CBS-FM. Last time around on the big show. Oh, man. You know, Katie was telling us about where she works.
Yeah.
And it's a record company, and they're usually pretty hip people over there. Who was that girl that Christina, didn't she used to work with us?
Yeah. Hey, tell him.
Does she work there
Christina,
now?
the phone screener.
Yeah.
She worked with us at PLJ and now works with Katie at Electra.
Yeah, a lot. We had so many wonderful people. Here, when we first got here, we had an intern by the name of Anthony. And we trained him, and then Jim Ryan swiped him and took him next door to his baby station.
We're like the farm team.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. They taught you enough. Now you got to go to work for me.
Now that you're good, you can go.
So sometimes he's funny. I have not heard this, so I'm going to try it.
Good morning, Scott and Patty and everybody at CBS-FM. I'm intern Anthony from Karen Carson in the morning on New 102.7 right down the hall. I got my start with Scott Shannon 7 years ago in radio, and Scott's been wonderful to me ever since. But Scott, I just gotta come clean about something, and that is that for the last 7 years, I've been able to do an impression of Scott Shannon in the morning on CBS-FM, and I haven't said a word to you about it. You're listening to the highly outrageous but never contagious Big Show. And so does Scott and Patty from this here voice impression. All of us here at Odyssey would like to say to you, bye, buckaroos. And we'd like to thank you for the most wonderful years here at Odyssey.
I was going to say he should keep his day job, but his day job is this.
Good God. All right. Well, thank you, Anthony.
No, that was
not a good
sweet.
day to be. Not a good day to be mean or rude. Thank you, Anthony,
No,
very
he's
much.
precious.
That
we love
wonderful
him.
job you did there.
I think they made the right move taking him over there.
I have somebody that just messaged me and said, would you tell Scott that my brother Joe says hi? He won a trip to Ireland from you or something. And he also said, whatever happened to Cato? Cato was before my time.
Yeah, Cato was.
Where is he now?
He's out in Arizona. Cato. I wish Nolan was here. Mm-hmm. I wish he was here. Cato used to smoke a little bit.
A little?
Yeah, a little bit. And he would oversleep. We go down to we go to Disney World, and he put a towel under his door.
So he could smoke in the
room.
room.
And he'd take his phone off the hook. So one morning, we were out there, we're waiting for Cato, the producer, to show up, and he's all smoked up. He oversleeps. He comes running in there. He had long blonde hair. And, I'm so sorry. My alarm didn't go off. All right. That was about it for Cato.
That was the end of
Cato. That's when he moved to Arizona. I want to mention again, next year, when you turn the radio on, you're going to hear a new man by the name of John Fox in this slot.
Although not until February.
Is it February?
Yes.
Why are they waiting so long?
I don't know. That's what they're doing.
Right, so I'll be gone by then.
Yeah.
John,
we maybe even be back by that time.
John is a really great guy, and he's going to be taking over the show. We've known him for a while. He worked over at our other station at PLJ.
And he worked at the country station here.
Yeah. Good man, good disc jockey. Yep. And, that's what they want. They want a DJ in there, and he's one of the best I've ever heard, and I wish him the very best. And thanks to our friend Dave Plotkin. He was the guy who helped put together the Patty and Scott retrospective.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm thanking him or not for that.
Well, it was great.
I'm teasing.
That was great, Patty.
He's my little brother, of course. I love it.
And I for the people who missed this, I just love this. It's so cute. Sue Aller, who used to do our traffic and was a big part of the show for a long time until she wasn't. And we were talking about Jeopardy, I don't know, some Jeopardy question, and this is what went down. Last night, part 1 of the GOAT competition, the greatest of all time on Jeopardy. Last night, Ken Jennings had a combined total of 63,400 points over 2 separate games. Right behind him, my guy from Vegas, James Holzhauer, and I felt bad for that poor Brad Rutter. I'm telling you, he was a mess last night.
Deer without a headlight.
Yeah.
In the headlight.
Yeah, there you go.
In the headlight. How many deers have headlights?
Is that the deer or you? In the headlight.
Deer without a headlight. I love that.
Oh, my God. There's just something about that I love.
I know.
And that's her in a nutshell.
And she kept going. And kept getting it wrong.
The other thing, too, when we had the mystery movies, she never got one. She'd guess, she'd be like not even.
That was kind of her thing not to get them.
You can test it tomorrow, Scott.
That's right. She'll be there tomorrow.
I got to tell you something. We're about out of time.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell you, Patty, it's been wonderful working with you. I got to know you better this time than all the other times.
Yeah, I always tell people I feel really blessed to have worked with you through 3 different incarnations: the Z100 Crazy Scott, the middle years at WPLJ, and now here. And it's been an evolution for both of us, and I've loved every minute of it.
And who else would you like to thank today as we... now, Patty is not retiring. She wants you to know that. But she still has and most of her wonderful family is here today.
Yeah, my Jake is not here because he's out in Colorado, but I have Will here, my gorgeous 23-year-old. I have my spectacular 25-year-old daughter, Kate, and I have my fabulous... I can't remember how old he is, but my husband here, Steve.
See, you sound like you watch that Wheel of Fortune. When they go on the Wheel of Fortune.
They tell that quick story about the family?
Nobody really has a normal husband or a normal child.
Right.
They're all like, my awesome, fabulous 12-year-old
really
son
abnormal.
who just got out of jail. No, you have a wonderful family and you are fortunate.
I do.
I announced it some time ago that the run is over here at CBS-FM. When I came here, I really thought that this was going to be my last job. Well,
it didn't work out that way, but it was a great place to work.
Right.
And we had wonderful support for a long time. And I am going to take some time off and see how I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just don't want to make the mistake of coming back like poor Tom Brady.
And then not
and throw interceptions. I don't want to do that. So
I don't know. He's had his ups and downs. He's done all right.
Yeah, he came back and won a Super Bowl, Scott.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about recently. You haven't been watching recently, obviously.
You know what? None of us want to do the recent things to be looked at.
Well, it's like I said, it's been fun. I'll continue my relationship with the station. On Sunday morning, we'll have the countdown, America's Greatest Hits. And if you like the oldies that CBS-FM used to play, like I do, you know, the songs like the Four Seasons and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Motown, I got a channel called the True Oldies Channel, and it runs on 101.1. That's HD3.
Thank you.
And it's, you know, also available online. You might like it because it hardly got any commercials. So that's kind of nice.
Not for you, it's not.
No, but it's built that way.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
So I want to say thanks to my wife and my daughter Kathleen. They've been through many difficult times with me, and I'm so proud.
Hello, but not just difficult. How many beautiful, incredible times have they been through? Exciting times.
Well, it's called For Better or For Worse. Remember that?
Yeah, and keep in mind, you know, I can't even imagine what it must be like for them to live all these years with this icon of our business. So
well,
lucky
I'm not
them.
an icon at the house.
No, you are. They just don't tell you.
I still get the call. Dad, pick me up at the airport and hurry.
Yeah. No, I know.
That, but
And I want to say thank you to you, Scott, because you've been through a million ups and downs with me. Everything from, you know, difficulties in my life to up times. You were at my wedding. You've been at the hospital seeing new babies. You've been a really huge part of my entire adult life. And my husband here too. I mean, you introduced him to big time radio. So, you know, I love you.
I love the whole family.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you to Heather. Done a great job today.
We love you.
Well done, Heather.
Heather's really been a gem. I miss you, Joe Nolan. Sue Al, I got to thank her for her service. John Elliott, who we dearly love.
Our precious John.
Dan Taylor, who was so nice when I got here and was so helpful to me.
Mr. G?
His brother, Race Taylor. My friend from the Radio Hall of Fame. I love this guy, Broadway Billy.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys with a big heart. Joe Causey, thank you. Dave Stewart, Dermot O'Neill, down right next door.
Wonderful guy.
Great guy. Jim Ryan, one of the guys that hired me here. Chris Olivero, who kept me here for a while. Don Balukas, who was here running things. And John,
Scott Herman.
Yep, Scott Herman. John McConnell, thank you for all you do.
David Katz, my guy.
Yeah. See, you didn't have a list like I did. You think of having one of you.
No, it
I know, it just
pops
popping.
in. Jackie Alderman, who's always been our right hand here.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jackie.
We will miss you. We love you for listening. And bye, buckaroos.
Woo!